The Liebherr L580 is a specially designed wheel loader for handling logs, and its operating weight is around 33 tonnes. The model comes in a Liebherr branded box and it's got a nice photo of the machine on it with lots of logs. But sadly, as usual, there's no information about the real machine. Inside the box there are the usual expanded polystyrene trays, and it's good to see the top tray is marked to stop the model being unpacked in an Australian configuration. Lifting the lid, the model is wrapped in some soft paper, and that seems to be done to protect the paintwork from rubbing off on the inside of the container. Anyway, enough about the theory and practice of packaging, let's lift out the model. And it comes out of the box complete with no assembly to do. Looking underneath, the transmission is fully modelled with plastic drive shafts, and the tyres have a good strong tread pattern. They are mounted on metal wheels with nice wheel nut detailing. The rear wheel arches have got good plastic fairings and there's a toolbox on top, and the engine compartment has got nice sharp graphics. On the back, the lights are finely painted. The cab is nicely detailed inside and out, and the metal handrails are really good because they're very thin. The big chunk of metal at the front is a stump ram, and the protective grille for the front windscreen is mounted on the loader arms. There's some very nice hydraulic detailing with some finely painted silver pipes, and the ram piston rods have protective guards. There are plenty of hydraulic hoses which run across to the grapple at the front. The log grapple is a metal part and it's a nice casting. Into the CranesEtcTV logging yard and the L580 hums along. It's a nice heavy model so it rolls well. Picking it up, the first obvious thing is that the rear axle has a lot of oscillatory movement, and that enables the machine to even out over rough ground. The steering operates across the pivot point in the middle. Hang on, come on, let's have a look at the steering. Sometimes you just can't get the staff. Anyway, the steering does work, but perhaps it's not got quite the same range of movement as the real machine would have. There's another feature at the front of the machine, and that's the stump ram, and that can be raised and lowered a little. But the main feature of the model is the LogHandler, and it's got a good range of movements. And we have a viewer question from Barry Kobama of the USA. And Barry asks, why don't model makers make models full size? Well, Barry, it's because FedEx would never be able to deliver the package and you'd never be able to open the box. Back to the model review, and the grapple can be raised up high, but if you want it to hang level, you have to adjust it and be careful with the hydraulic hoses which tend to snag over the end of the ram. It's not really a problem, just something to watch out for. From being raised on high, the grapple can also be fully lowered using the arms. For those of you that like handling a log, let's take a closer look at the grapple. It rotates fully at the attachment point with enough stiffness that you can pose it in any particular direction. And the two sides of the grapple fully open up to handle the widest of logs. There are no logs supplied with the model, but here at CranesEtcTV there is never an expense spared, and these model logs have been specially flown in from the room next door. The good thing is that the grapple on the L580 is stiff enough that it will grip the logs without opening up, and it certainly makes the model a lot more interesting to see it shifting some logs. So let's now give it a genuine imitation real-life test by loading some logs into a stillage. The L580 is driven expertly up, and then the hand-assisted loader arm gently lowers the logs into the stillage. As you can see, this is a rare display of operating skills. Next, the operator uses the optional finger power assist to release the logs, and then more hand turbo boost is applied to raise the grapple. With the job done, the operator handily selects reverse. This is a more unusual model from NZG, and it certainly is an interesting one. It would have been nicer if the grapple was removable, but with that said, the functionality is good, and NZG have given the model some pleasing details. If you like logging stuff, then it's highly recommended.